here? Are we hearing together?
Testing.
Testing. We're double checking audio here. Literally. All right, I'm not wearing the headphones. I think we're good.
Yeah, cool. You did a great job with the intro video.
That last one?
Yeah.
Motion Array helped me out on that one. But it was fun. It was fun just to...
The sponsor of this episode today
really.
is
It was fun
Motion
just
Array.
to, just f around and find out.
Can we swear on the spot?
I'll bleep it out. It's fine. No, thank you, though. I appreciate that. I also liked it. I wish I could have grabbed more shots.
Cheers.
Cheers. But I wanted to just, get it out. So I'm I just grabbed, 2 or 3 shots from, that dad cam video you had.
Nah, that was cool. I think it was cool.
Yeah, I think it worked out. Maybe I'll use it again for this one. Maybe we mix it up. Who knows?
Only you know right now.
Oh, are we recording?
What played in front of us?
Let's go.
Yeah. What kind of jingle do you think we would have if there wasn't that?
Some stinger off of, Premium Beat or something that I pay for. I found myself... I looked in my Visa recently, and I really, dissected everything. And, the amount of, random subscriptions I have... for the business, and that's always what I've just, it's for the business, it's fine. But then you think about being I have Dropbox and WeTransfer. And I'm okay, well, that's going to, I should get rid of one of them.
Something's got to give here.
And then I have Premium Beat, and then you gave me that promo for the audio one, audio.com,
oh,
with, the 2 eyes or whatever, because there's the lifetime.
Oh, yeah.
That was 200. So I'm I might as well just, spend
Yeah.
that, and then it's just the second one. So I'm okay with having both of those.
Oh, yeah. That's a genius marketing plan, dude.
Just doing lifetime
pay
subscription.
Once here, you'll get it forever.
For sure, but you think about the actual business of that and being can you sustain a business by?
Well, I don't care.
Yeah. As a consumer, for sure, you'd be sick, $200 forever, for sure. But I think about their business being there's only so much of us type of people.
Yeah.
And sure, it's always growing because kids will always grow up, but that's not a true subscription business plan. That's just a one and done.
Yeah, they do.
So I think subscription is the move, where it's just you're getting cash flow consistently.
Yeah.
Every month, versus just being you're only a one-time customer.
Yeah.
You're a customer, then you're done. So it is interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I think for people like us, being creatives, we're hell yeah.
Yeah.
But then I just think about their end being oh, I wonder how really that works and if it is sustainable.
I don't know. I'm not a massive fan of subscription.
Yeah, me neither.
Shit.
That's probably why you changed to DaVinci. That's the same
Yeah.
thing. You just buy in all at once. You have to probably do a huge learning curve.
Yeah.
But it's once you do,
yeah,
you don't have to deal with those
$300. Boom.
Yeah.
Over it.
Yeah,
And
I'm
that's the way
trying to
she
get there.
goes.
That's such a huge conversation now with people who have podcasts just like us. Are you going to DaVinci yet or no? And I'm still just it's so hard because I feel I'm not the strongest editor. I love doing it. There's a lot of people way better than me.
Yeah, but
I've
don't have a
9 years,
reason.
just probably even more, 10 years plus, I'm sure. Just the ins and outs of all the little things of Premiere, just to throw that away.
Yeah. No.
I can't do that yet.
If it works, it works. I still use Premiere sometimes.
Yeah. You must use DaVinci more right now, though.
For my personal stuff, yeah, I only use DaVinci, but then sometimes I'll do work stuff on Premiere just because there's certain things that just make sense, and especially if you're working with people and they're editing in Premiere.
Yeah, team projects make sense, even because you still like to also use a lot of After Effects, so just kind of bridging those two things could also just be a lot easier.
Yeah.
How is bridging After Effects stuff into DaVinci? Does that exist, or you just kind of always have to output your After Effects and then bring it in?
Yeah, for a while, even before DaVinci, I was just exporting ProRes files out of After Effects just to keep it consistent because sometimes it got glitchy.
Yeah.
But it's just easier to share project files, and sending them through the web with Adobe in general. But also now DaVinci has cloud projects, so that's a whole other thing.
True.
But what do you think they edited that primitive video on?
Oh well, I follow Alan Hannon, so I know
so you already
it's
know.
Premiere. He does a good job of just kind of
that was such a
doing
well
pictures.
put together video.
It really was. I want to give a first initial reaction to that. And I'm going to put the time code in here in post because there's one specific sequence about how we edited it, which was super, super 8 footage, kind of just lifestyle stuff.
Right.
But in the way the fisheye started this line, it looked up and swung down.
Yeah.
But the frame of where it caught the last swoosh pan to that swoosh pan with the music made me feel something. It was the thing that I felt the most during that video. It's funny because when you watch like a skate video, you think about tricks. You're like, oh my God, what the hell? Yeah. And that did happen during that video, me watching that the first time.
Yeah.
But I remember like those seconds and like that sequence that he put together was like, I got chills off of that. Crazy. And a lot of it had to do like with the timing of like how you make that cut with the music and the powerfulness of the music itself. But I remember that point actually moved me. It was in Felipe Mota's part. And I think I remember the line. It was some B-roll shots of just like, you know, side profile of him, face, just lifestyle stuff. And then it cut to him doing switch tail slide to regular, half cab flip nose slide, bump up to crook, and out. It kind of looked like a Brazil spot, very chunky, one long ledge that he just hit twice. But yeah, I thought that was very well put together. I mean, you kind of know what you get when you watch like an Alan Hannon primitive type of thing, like a very well-produced, high-quality thing with like always decent music. I do like the music choices in this. And the skating was obviously really sick. Wallenberg at the end.
Yeah,
everyone had question marks of just like scratching their head once you saw that in the mag. Being like, how do you pop that fakie?
Yeah.
Like, for real. And then you see how much he was hauling ass. That
and how
thing.
early he popped.
And how early he popped. And just, like, how clean he actually, like, landed it and did that trick was, like, pretty crazy.
Dylan Jabe is the new Mike Mo.
Yeah, but that's been known. That's always been his story, for sure, ever since he came out.
But, like, in my mind now.
Did you know the story about his first part that he put out on Thrasher? The set that Mike Mo fakie flipped and fully flared or pretty sweet, whatever one it was, which was like a 13 stair to flat, and then you just like drop off this 2 stair.
Right.
So he fakie flips it. Mike Mo fakie flips it.
Yeah.
Dylan Jabe nollie flipped it in that part. And apparently Dylan Jabe, I heard this from the 9 Club.
Yeah.
Dylan Jabe asked, like, hit up Mike Mo being like, yo, I'm going to that set. I'm going to nollie flip it. In inspiration for you if you want to come through. And then Mike Mo was just like, nah. But that was cool. It was filmed the same way. The ramp slow-mo the same way, like a full like homage to Mike Mo in that trick, especially because him knowing that that's kind of the talk around him, that he is kind of like the new Mike Mo in that sense. But he definitely is the new Mike Mo.
I just haven't...
Except for Mike Mo hasn't fakie flipped Wallenberg.
Yeah. I just haven't seen that much footage from
Dylan Jabe. Yeah.
So...
This might be an unpopular opinion, but the meat and potatoes, the middle of his part was kind of like...
Oh, dude.
You're just sitting there and you're watching it and you're enjoying it, but it was no like, smack
like
you across the head, smack you across the head.
Capable of?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was more just like, and that's in like, who am I to say this? Because you know I'm such a good skateboarder, but it just
insert clip.
I think it's just more the hype. Like you hear his name and like how talented he is. So you're expecting like some heavy hitting clips and like some really, really good spots.
Yeah. The backtail fakey Manny was fucked.
That was cool. And it's funny because I think as a viewer, I kind of expected that to happen because the first shot of that was the kickflip back tail and then it cut to like a second angle before he landed it. So I'm like, okay, you know he's going to do something because he's not just going to kickflip back tail this ledge, right? So once he did that and then you look at his feet position, you're like, he's not doing anything out of this. It's not like he's going to flick out of it. You don't see like a heel flip setup or a flip setup or whatever. So once he dropped down, you're like, you know he's going to manual. So then the question is, are you going to flip out of this manual? And then he did. So yes, that was sick. And again, like his part was still good, but it just was one of my first reactions were just being like, I thought it was going to be better, but I think that was just only in my head of just the hype around the kid. His part to me was just the Wallenberg. True. Like well, what other tricks do you really remember other than what you just said and then that? Everything else kind of just like floated by, and it was enjoyable because he has good style.
Yeah, I like his style a lot.
But maybe I think Felipe Mota maybe took that more from him of just like he has multiple clips.
The first 2 parts were great. But what are we if we are not our hype?
What? Yes. What a soundbite.
For real though, honestly.
100%. I mean, do you know his name? I was thinking about it driving over here because I know we were going to talk about this today. But the Kaio, what's his name?
I couldn't tell you, dude. I couldn't tell you. I liked his part a lot, though.
Me too. I thought his part was sick, and I think because it was so different than the other two, and like he was skating like such different spots in such a different way.
Yeah,
I definitely enjoyed his part. But I think Felipe Mota his part was probably the best and my favorite out of all three, strictly because of like the spots that he hit. Think about it. You have Clipper in there, you have Hollywood High in there, and then there's that other like kind of famous
the
rail.
Hollywood High clip was fucked up. It was really clean.
There was that other kind of famous rail-ish that's in LA where he did the kickflip back hurricane.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's probably like LA people would know that rail type of thing, but obviously it's not as popular as Clipper or Hollywood 16.
I'm gonna silence my phone. Rookie mistake over here.
So I think I enjoyed his part mostly because of just the spots that he hit, especially his opener, that long no slide on the Torrey Pudwell. Like, what a way to start a video. That's the way to start a video.
I think that's what kind of inspired me yesterday. I went out to skate. Then I was trying to nose manning nollie flip, but his foot placement on that no slide, dude, his foot was at the nose like when he popped, and I was just like, maybe.
I'm glad they showed that angle. That was pretty nuts.
So I was like, okay, maybe I have to think about where I place my feet,
especially for a flip of a manual.
Way
for sure.
Different. So I was trying to like get in. It didn't work out.
So were you thinking about like right when you got into those Manny, you were conscious about your back foot to like kind of be on toes so that you can be able to flick?
Or
you do the wiggle. You go in and you kind of wiggle.
So the wiggle was but my front foot, the pop foot was the one that was like blowing it for me. I wasn't popping. The flick was like ready to go.
Interesting.
Yeah. We'll take you guys one day. Don't worry about it.
We have plans for that. That should be fun.
But I don't know if I'll do that on camera. It'd be fun to do like a live breakdown of like watching a video. That'd be so funny.
Of watching of like the primitive video? What are we talking about right now?
Or like any video. If we just like live stream it.
We should do that.
That'd be so
That's
funny.
A great idea. We'll dedicate one like whenever there's a new premiere of something, of like a new video that's coming out that we're stoked on, we'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll like record ourselves. That'll be the podcast for the week. Yeah. Maybe I'll superimpose it in, so we'll just kind of act like a like a 9 Club type of thing.
I feel like that would be the must.
Because I'm sure by like episode like 36, we're gonna be like, all right, let's mix this up. Let's just try and do something different.
What did you think of Gifted Haters like SLS? I love like watching his commentary just for the pure factor, because I'm like, it's kind of what I'm thinking.
And you see, that's where his talent does lie. And Gary Rogers had this for a bit too, and still does here and there. But if you like, when you can speak to the audience of just being like, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad you said it, so I'm not just like thinking that by myself. He definitely does that a lot. I don't think I caught this one of him. I saw him jump on it on live on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think I caught a bit of it, but then like I had things to do, so I'd kind of just like dip. But
that's
for what I saw, it was just like, that's the best way to watch Street League, is to watch it through someone like him, just to be like, we're watching this together kind of thing.
Okay, like hot take right now.
Here we go.
I do think what's popular right now is like, I don't know what to call it, like intermittent content. So like Gifted Haters are a perfect example of like you're watching SLS, but I also have to cook dinner. I also have to do laundry. Oh, I'm going to step out and do errands. I'm not going to come back to that video right away, but maybe the next time I'm bored, I'm like, oh, fuck, I forgot about that SLS video, and like continue watching it. It doesn't have to be a live stream or something. Like, I think the type of content that's doing well is long form, but also something that you can just be like, oh, I'm done. Like you can just check out and be like, oh, I have stuff to do.
Yeah. I like that. I think podcast is kind of like that.
Totally, yeah.
Because I find myself, and bringing it back to the 9 Club just because we're talking about skating, especially when they do interviews with people and they do the bookmarks, it can even get to that point where like I'll start from the beginning if I'm like, all right, this is...
Yeah.
I don't know this guy that well. I'm not that interested in this person, but let's zoom through and be like, oh, this section's kind of cool. Boom, let's move it there.
Yeah.
It's probably a different discussion, but I think still in general you can do that with podcasts, being like, that's something that you can just put on as a background thing, pause, walk away, and always just come back to it, and always just like watch old videos of it. Because this SLS thing with Gifted Hater, even like in 2 weeks, I can be like, oh yeah, he posted that video. I never finished it yet. Let me just jump back in on that. Yeah. Because even though I know the outcome of it, still watching it through his perspective and kind of with him of what my real time would be in terms of that experience will still always be the same.
Yeah, that's what makes it, I think. What do you think our like skateboarding segment should be called?
That's such a heavy question. It took us so long to figure out a title of this thing, and then you called me out once I dropped it on the first 30 seconds of it. So maybe we won't just name things. Maybe from the first episode, I said we're going to be talking about skateboarding as a part of this. So this is us talking about skateboarding.
True.
Do you have a title name that you think?
No. Clicking
Let's all just take a moment right now and just think about something.
Clicking that tail around.
Decent.
Wheels of... Wait. The first ever feature film as if it was an actual film. The first video I ever posted on YouTube was 4 Wheels of Freedom or some shit.
I remember that. Yes, it is.
And it was like 4 minutes of just like sidewalk clips.
Yep. Then he posted one called
so
I
fast.
Love Security Guards.
That one went pretty viral.
That one went
actually.
like 500,000.
Yeah.
Pretty nuts.
Yeah. And then years later the audio got removed on
No way.
YouTube. Yeah.
What song? What song was it?
It was like a Jay-Z song, so like
that'll
course,
do it.
yeah.
That'll do it.
I wasn't using like royalty-free music back in whatever.
08?
Yeah, I guess
08, 09, 10. It's got to be somewhere around that range. Like definitely early YouTube.
Definitely.
Has to be. All right, so we're 15 minutes into this podcast, and
we've talked about nothing.
We talked about skateboarding so far.
We should probably talk about AI. It's just the next logical step.
I think we should catch up, man. We've been setting up, and I'm like, we can't talk right now because like we haven't really talked since our last podcast, and a lot of things have happened in between our lives. Spencer, how are you? What's new in your life right now, Spencer?
I'm good.
Talk to me about your Montreal trip. You just went to Montreal.
Yeah, we went to Montreal. One of my friends, one of my childhood friends, came over for the week, and we kicked it at pretty much on this couch for a few days, and then we took the Via over to Montreal.
Nice, smart call. Better than driving,
dude.
That drive sucks.
It's quick. We don't have high-speed trains. I think just in Canada in general. The Via is not that fast in comparison to the rest of the world, but it was definitely faster than driving. Much preferred it. Great experience, 10 out of 10. Has Wi-Fi on the train, and we had a little 4-seater, so we could just talk shit the whole time.
Perfect.
Cold as hell in Montreal,
yeah.
Skin exposed, cold.
Yeah.
So it was just fully bundled up. But during the day we had nice heavy sun, so that was really great. Then I got home and immediately got into a car accident going to pick up Winston. So that
We'll
sucks.
put the picture up here right now. You sent me a picture. I screenshot it. I'll put that up right now.
Dude, yeah, that was pretty brutal. The last leg of the trip. And it was just funny, back to back of as I was leaving Montreal, I was walking to the train station. I saw this sign on this street post that was just don't be scared. You're in sync with the universe. You are the universe.
Remember that.
Yeah. And literally 12 hours later, I was in a car accident, and I was looking at my Instagram story, and I was like,
yeah, back to back.
This is hilarious.
It really is. That's my first time realizing that too. Because I know both of those stories separately, but now once you put it into perspective of they were kind of back to back like that, that's super funny.
Yeah, it was my dad.
It's not funny. Yeah, but it's kind of funny.
In the context, it was funny. My dad was the one who he had just opened Instagram, I guess, at that moment, and he was just no way. And I was like, damn, I guess that is kind of funny. Yeah. So right now I'm in the middle of the insurance process. Don't really have any updates. Thankfully, it's not my fault, but also in Ontario we have no fault insurance, so it doesn't really fucking matter. Sorry for swearing.
I'll bleep it out. I won't bleep it out. Who cares? You're speaking your truth.
Yeah, dude, our insurance system makes me so angry. But the OPP, shout out to them. They were really, really friendly, and I learned a lot. Did you know you can pass somebody on a solid line and a double solid line?
No, I thought that's the point of why it's that.
Me too. But one means caution, and then one means extra caution. Yeah.
Wow.
Two OPP guys told me that.
That's crazy.
I know.
We added value in this podcast because I can guarantee you there's got to be the 7 of the 11 people who's watching this right now probably did not know that.
Dude, yeah, if you're from
crazy.
Ontario, yeah, I
feel in driving school it was always said double line is hell no, do not do that.
Yeah. So yeah, in the way that I got into an accident, I was making a left, and somebody behind me actually stopped me from making my left with their whole vehicle, and I was just I was talking to the cop, and I was like, it's a solid line, dude. And he's like, oh no, that doesn't mean anything. You can pass. And I was like, wow.
When logic doesn't logic.
that was this whole thing. So yeah, hopefully that all pans out. I'm so thankful that I'm totally okay and that I was like skating this week.
That's sick. Yeah, like for sure. Obviously, the first thing that I saw was that accident being like, you're good, right?
Yeah.
Because it did look minor. So at least like that is very good.
I'm so mind blown at how things happen. Like their car is totaled and they all walked away.
Really?
Yeah, their car is completely totaled.
Well, you have a Subaru.
Yeah.
What do they have?
Plug. They had a Volkswagen.
Oh, those are still supposed to be relatively
but he also
safe.
ended up in a ditch, and his car almost flipped over. So, like, all his airbags went off. I'm just surprised they're okay. I had one of those moments where, like, I don't know, maybe it was because I saw that sign, and I was just like, I'm not scared. But I, like, because I was making a left-hand turn, I, like had the opportunity to, like, look at him, and I was just like, oh, I'm about to get smoked. Like, this is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
And then... yeah, I guess you just black out for a second. And I was like, how am I completely fine right now?
What was the speed that you think that person was going when he hit you? Was it like a 20 to 40 range, or was it close to like 60, 80? Where like that, I mean, that's obviously two different worlds.
Yeah, I think it would probably be lower. Like, it probably felt way faster in my mind. But, like, it was one of the scenarios, like, I was making a left. There was somebody behind me, and he was behind that vehicle. So I think he was going to rear end that guy. So he was like, oh, shit, I'm going to rear end that guy, and pulled away from it, and then was like, oh, it's because that guy's making a left-hand turn.
Oh, boy.
So I would assume he was going a good click because he kept going down the road. So we'll see what happens with that. That's, like, my big life updates right now.
It's crazy how that happens, like, right after a vacation. When I first saw that, I knew that you were in Montreal. I didn't know your timing of what days you're coming back.
Yeah, we
so
were
my
chatting.
second thought after, like, are you okay, is like, this guy just got in an accident on vacation. Getting in an accident sucks. Yeah. Getting in an accident on vacation, significantly worse. Because you're just trying to be like, I'm just on vacation. Just like, let me just vibe. And then you're just like, nope.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe silver lining is, like, at least this didn't happen in Montreal.
Yeah, totally. I'm so glad we didn't drive.
Yeah.
So glad we didn't drive.
Yeah.
It does suck that car's, like, basically brand new.
Yeah, that was, like, a year old for you.
Like, there's, like, 2,000 kilometers on it. Like...
yeah.
So a little bit upset. Like, I was sitting there in the wreckage, and I was just like, I kind of wish my car was totaled, because I would get a new one. Like now I am like, cool. This kind of hurts the resale value. Car that's in an accident. Yeah. That wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
Like, cool.
Definitely more of a bummer. That's
Great.
for sure.
Yeah.
You said it's in Orangeville right now?
Yeah, it's
is
just
it the Orangeville?
Oh,
I thought it was me at the Orangeville Subaru. And I'm like, that's where we did the shoot.
No,
so I mean, that'd been kind of interesting.
Yeah, so I just got towed to a pound, and then they're gonna like grab it from a pound and go to a repair shop. But
just like the logistics after too, you go through all of that.
Yeah,
and that's just the start. It's not just like, okay, I'm good, I can move on with my life. It's like, okay, I'm good. Now let's deal with like what I'm sure is to be a bunch of paperwork, a bunch of phone calls, a bunch of like logistics. Yeah. How you're now gonna get back from Toronto back to Orangeville after you just came here from it, and just everything just to get back to regular. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that.
Dude, yeah, it's crazy how many times you have to tell the same story.
Like to like different people.
To different people.
Insurance, cops, whatever.
And also having like a typed version as well. And I started every phone call with just like, I know that this is in front of you. What do you not understand about the words that are in front of you? And let's go from there.
That's super smart versus you having to be like, let me tell you the first 80% that's already in front of you, and then we can dig in the 20% that you don't know.
Because they'll use anything against you, because it's literally you against your insurance.
Say less.
Yeah,
that's it. Crazy. Just the less you can say, the better off you'll be.
Say less. Say less.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. I hope your trip was still good. Did you do anything kind of creative out there? Did you try and like shoot a vlog? Did you go to like the factory? You kind of had that handle.
Oh no! I realized I was there for way too short. I was gonna go to Shape. I'm not even gonna give you guys backstory on that. Yeah, it's just like that's a camera company out in Montreal, Canadian based. If you're into cameras and stuff, check it out 100%. But yeah, I just wasn't there for that long.
True.
I brought my camera, shot around some stuff. We went to like a museum, we went shopping a bit. We just vibed, ate, and like drank a bit, and just like.
So full vacation mode activated versus just being like, let's go out there,
Totally.
maybe kind of for like a YouTube thing or work thing. It's like, no, it's like a full vibe.
We both, everyone on the trip worked, like, it was just like working in somewhere else. Like I cut like a little social video for like Simple Plan while I was out there, and like Beth did like her school paper, and I was working like.
So just simple things.
Yeah,
something you can do remotely where you can just like pick up and go there and still just trying to achieve that stuff.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Exactly.
Nice. What camera do you bring? Just dad cam or like
the
this
one
guy
the one that we're shooting on right now?
Nice.
Just with like a tiny little lens.
Portable. That works.
Yeah. Super portable. Nice, glad I brought it. Wish we stayed a little bit longer, but I haven't been to Montreal that many times. Have you?
Yes and no. It's weird because I'd say yes because I've been there a bunch of times for work, especially in between like my 20 and 25 range. But that really is fly in, shoot, fly out. Especially when you go to the Porter, like you do the Porter flights.
Right.
It's just 45 minutes. So like there's been so many times where it's like my 9 to 5 day is like fly there, shoot 3 interviews, fly home. And that takes up the full 9 to 5. So I've done a bunch of those. Only twice I think I've gone where I can kind of enjoy it. One was with my girl, and we did like our full vacation there, where like nothing to do with work. And another time was kind of recently, where I did that, but I gave myself a day before and after just to like kind of kick it and enjoy it, which was kind of nice.
Cool.
I drove both of those times. First time was fun because you have your girlfriend with you.
Right. Yeah.
You can vibe. Second time I was kind of alone. Driving there was fun because I was getting paid to drive there.
Right.
Like they were paying me all like the mileage and day rates to like drive. So I'm like, this is sick. But then driving back, I'm like, I just want to get home. This drive is terrible. Like and it always takes you longer to drive out of Montreal than to drive into Montreal.
Totally. Yeah.
Even my first experience going to Oshiega, where I wasn't driving, but I was in the back seat. 5 hours there, 7 hours back.
Wow.
It just every time for some reason it's always just like way more time back.
Wow.
And maybe it also just like is the excitement of your going there and the down of like that was fun. I'm exhausted. I want to get home.
Like where's my mattress?
Yeah. But yeah, still love Montreal for sure.
Time is crazy.
Facts.
And that's the podcast.
No, time is crazy. I was going to say something else. What was I going to say? Oh, my very first experience in Montreal. Let me get into the story because this is funny. Milan's need to grab a taxi just to go to the shoot. It was one of the 9 to 5. My very first 9 to 5.
Cool, gotcha.
Like, just need to get to the shoot. So, fly, cool. Taxi, cool. I'm super excited. I'm like 20, 21 at this time. And I told the cab driver I'm a Leafs fan. Whew, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
He pulled the maneuver of... He was kind of like very rude back to me. Like, way more... Like, sure you don't like the Leafs. Just, like, let it be.
Yeah.
He was kind of, like, saying some things that was, like, personally attacking me. But I think because he was just a very passionate Canadian Habs fans. But then he did the thing where cab drivers do when they, like, I'm sure everybody kind of has this story of, like, they'll just take the longest route to get there just to try and rinse you. And then you have to call them out to be like, no.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing, but I'm 21. I've never been to Montreal by myself navigating through it. Luckily, I didn't have to pay that price tag because I just expensed it back. But it was like... That's a learning experience. Don't just Leafs fans and Montreal fans don't like each other. So don't just out of the blue randomly say, "Hey, I'm a Leafs fan."
Is that what you did?
Yeah, I was like, I'm just trying to make conversation. He might have asked. I don't know. It was just so long ago.
But like it was prompted.
It probably was. All I remember was just after I said I was a Leafs fan, the vibe significantly changed.
Damn.
Yeah.
In most cab scenarios and like Uber scenarios, I mostly try to just talk about them.
If you have to talk at all, yes.
Yeah, I love talking to those people, man, because they are like just enigmas to our society.
Because they probably have ears on a lot of conversations. Like think about the amount of conversations they hear versus like even people on phone calls, like high-end executive people on phone calls, and like maybe the business decisions that they'd have to make on the run, to just like relationship fights.
Totally.
Like just
drunk
the array,
folks.
the drunk people, the array of just like things that they've witnessed probably in the backseat of their car.
Yeah.
It's way more than what I could say I've witnessed in the backseat of my car type of thing. So I see where you're coming from, and I think I definitely would agree.
Yeah, sometimes it's fun. You got to be in the mood for it, but sometimes it's like pretty fun to get
that was gonna be my next thing, being like
advice.
Yeah, that's been my next thing. Being like, there's been times where I'm feeling kind of social, and I'll spark up that conversation.
Yeah.
But I think those times for me, at least personally, is very few, versus just the times where I'm like, I'm just locked in on my phone, doing emails or scrolling Instagram or something.
I really like one-on-one connections. I feel a lot more comfortable in those environments, and I have a bigger struggle when there's like 4 people like having a conversation. Like I just feel like I go a little bit more quiet and like less of who.
Oh, interesting.
Like less of who I overall am.
Yeah. I feel like we've kind of talked about this, and I feel like I'm kind of the opposite, which is interesting. I feel like I consider myself an introverted person, but if you put me in an environment with a group of people where like I do need to step up, whether that is in like answering a question or just like adding value to a conversation,
Right.
I feel like way more comfortable in that maybe versus more of a one-on-one person, because I feel like maybe there's more silences on a one-on-one person where I would be like,
Right.
you know,
Right.
it's interesting though. That's cool how different we can be, but how similar we can be as human beings.
Yeah, like some people just got it like that. Like
Yeah.
when you're in a group dinner or something, I don't know how many times you like gone to like a birthday party and it's just like a group of like almost like fuck. How am I supposed to talk to that end of the table?
That is true.
It's just that straight up not happening.
It's funny you bring that up because one of my closest friends just turned 30, and we went to the keg, and it was like
Sick.
it was small and intimate, but with people I haven't met before, and like this is his friend from his hometown, this is his friend from this job, this is his friend from this job, and where you sit at a table, and that can very much
Totally
be like
determines your whole night.
Exactly, that's exactly what I'm trying to get at, because like I feel like I had a really good seat, which is why my dinner experience and the way that I socialized with people was amazing.
Yeah.
Because I had access to like a lot of people and a lot of different conversations, and the vibe was good. But if you're at like the end of the table, your whole night experience is so different.
Totally.
And that's crazy. I remember being very present in my mind and conscious about just that even happening real time, being like, whoa, like if I chose that seat like beside me or even beside that person,
Yeah.
my night would be completely different right now.
That's
But
crazy.
it's because I chose this seat that my night is my night in my reality.
Damn. So choose your seat wisely.
Choose your seat wisely. that is very. Next time you go into a group setting, really get in your own head about where you should be sitting. Make sure you're close to the birthday person. Make sure that as you're walking there, you're close to the people of your friends. We lost a light here. We lost the people.
Yeah.
That's okay. Is that a sign that we should wrap up?
I guess so.
34 minutes. Thanks for catching up. I'm glad that you're okay from your car accident. It was very minor. We love that. I'm sorry that had to happen to you right after vacation.
You just fully cut your thought.
That's okay. We said that we're going to do this. Right at the 30-minute mark, we're just being like, we're done.
Yeah, that's true. We're just mid-conversation. The video ends. People are like, what?
Just cut to black at the 30. Don't even take it to 34 minutes. Thanks for watching.
Pick your seat wisely.
Pick your seat wisely is how we're going to end this one.
I like that.
Me too.
And what did I say earlier? We can only be the hype that we have the hype of.
We can only be the hype that we see in ourselves.
I like that too.
We'll summarize it within that soundbite.
Yep. Be your own hype and pick your own seat.
Be your own hype. Pick your own seat.
What's up?
Strong finishers here.